Heartwarming discovery. A millionaire CEO fell for the stranger who revealed her hidden dreams. Anna wiped down the counter at Cobble's diner. The smell of coffee and bacon thick in the air. She glanced at the customers, their faces familiar and yet distant, filled with their own stories. She was 24, a waitress balancing trays and dreams. Every napkin she discarded was an idea. A vision of glimmering fabrics swirling on a runway somewhere far beyond this bustling Chicago suburb. She felt weight on her shoulders, the kind that came with packing lunches and counting pennies at home. But she held on tight to her aspirations, sketching evening gowns in the margins and turning simple diner napkins into canvases of possibility. On a rainy evening, Jack, the CEO of a downtown tech firm, stepped in, his tailored suit contrasting sharply with the diner's worn booths. The clatter of dishes faded as their eyes met. There was something electric in the air, a spark that burned through the ordinary. Jack ordered pancakes, shooting Anna a charming smile that made her heart flutter. In that fleeting moment, her tight chest loosened as she shared her dreams of fashion. Her words tumbling out, unchecked and raw. "I want to create," she said, animated, "to make people feel something beautiful." He listened, a pang of admiration striking deep within him. It was as if Anna had peeled back the layers of his glossy, successful life, revealing a vibrant energy he had long forgotten. As the days turned into weeks, their conversations deepened at the diner, blossoming into a friendship that felt like the first breath of spring after a harsh winter. Jack invited Anna to events shimmering with glitz, but every time she stood there in a sea of designer gowns, the judgmental glances pierced through her, leaving her feeling small. Jack's world was gorgeous but cold, a stark contrast to the warm laughter of the diner, and the gritty determination written all over Anna's face. His friends, sophisticated and polished, turned their noses up at her lofty ambitions, whispering about naivety and impossibility. Anna's cheeks burned with each judgment, and Jack's heart sank with every dismissive remark his peers made. One argument erupted one night, like a thunderstorm crashing in the silence. "I don't want your connections, Jack," Anna shouted, her voice trembling. "I want to stand on my own 2 feet." It struck a nerve, and he felt the chasm widen between their worlds. As silence enveloped them, they both felt the weight of their tensions, the fear of losing something real in the chaos of grandeur. In that moment, everything changed. Jack recognized the luxury of connection he had sacrificed for status, and Anna wrestled with the fear of being just another project. Then came the biggest fashion show of her life, a chance to prove that her dreams were indeed possible. Backstage, the murmur of the crowd sent shivers down her spine, and self-doubt pooled in her stomach. Heart racing, she searched for Jack in the throngs of faces, hoping he would offer the support she desperately needed. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications, so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. As Anna stepped onto the runway, the lights dimmed and brightened again. She was ready to confront not only her dreams, but the reality of her relationship with Jack. Could their bond withstand the storm? Would love bridge the gap between their worlds? Or would the pressures of each life tear them apart? In that moment, everything hung in the balance, the air thick with uncertainty and the audience waiting, breath held, for what was to come next. The runway stretched out before Anna like a long, unwinding ribbon, a path that could lead her anywhere. She took a deep breath, feeling the cool air rush into her lungs, fighting against the doubt swirling inside. She couldn't help but scan the crowd, searching for Jack's familiar face. And there he was, leaning forward, eyes wide, with a smile that lit up the dimmed auditorium. In that instant, she felt an exhilarating rush of strength. With each step she took, the fabric of her creation flowed around her, mirroring her heartbeat. It was vibrant and alive, just like her dreams. The lights danced, sparkling off the shimmering sequins she had painstakingly sewn into the dress. It felt like every inner critic, every disapproving whisper she had ever heard, was silenced. She was here, right where she belonged, emerging from years of doubt and fighting against the expectations that threatened to drown her. As she glided gracefully to the end of the runway, the applause erupted like thunder. The audience reacted not just to the dress, but to the passion that radiated from her. She could almost hear their thoughts. Who is this girl? Where did she come from? The applause rolled through her, a wave of validation when she turned back to face the crowd. Anna's eyes locked with Jack's. The moment felt suspended in time. She saw pride, awe, and something deeper shimmer behind his eyes, a hope that he couldn't hide. For all the distance that had existed between them, it was shrinking away, swallowed by the power of her moment. As she struck her final pose, the crowd went wild, a tidal wave of cheers and claps washing over her. But in the back of her mind, the tension still brewed. How would Jack react? Would he understand that this was her victory, not just against the world around her, but against the doubts that had haunted her for so long? Backstage was a frenzy of excitement as other models shifted from one outfit to the next, but Anna's head spun with thoughts of Jack. This was more than just a show. It was her shot at proving to herself and the world that she was more than the waitress at Cobble's diner. She was a creator, a force, and she had the potential to shine. As the last model walked off stage, applause still echoing in her ears, Anna slipped into the back of the dim corridor, her heart pounding. She needed to find Jack, needed to share this moment with him, to know he believed in her. She fought through the congratulatory throng, but each step felt like wading through thick fog. Anna! His voice cut through the noise, filled with urgency and warmth. She turned to see him weaving through the crowd, his expression a mix of admiration and something unspoken. Was it love? Was it desire? Jack. Her voice was breathy, hopeful. But just before they could reach one another, a group of industry insiders pressed around him, eager to bend his ear, to snag his attention. Anna's spirit dropped momentarily as she felt invisible again. Just another face in the crowd. She hesitated, uncertainty creeping in. The joy of the show clashed violently with the pang of loneliness. What if he didn't reach out? What if this moment slipped away from her grasp, like all those dreams she had tucked away for so long? Fingers trembling, she thought back to the whispers of doubt that had haunted her. Now was not the time to backtrack. She stepped forward, the echoes of cheers mingling with her heartbeat, a determination stirring inside her. But the question lingered in her mind. Was this leap of faith worth it? Would love indeed bridge their worlds, or was she setting herself up for another fall? Taking a deep breath, she took one bold step after the other, drawing closer to where Jack stood, heart racing and hope creeping in. As she stood before him, the air thick with expectancy, the silence screamed louder than any applause. Would he see her as she truly was, the artist, the dreamer, the woman ready to embrace everything that lay ahead? In that fade of excitement, something shifted in the air. A certainty whispered through the crowd, guiding Anna forward. Into the unknown. Jack finally broke free from the crowd, a look of pure determination on his face. His eyes found Anna's, and in that moment everything else disappeared. The noise of the event faded away, leaving just the two of them suspended in a world built from their own unspoken hopes. Anna! He said again, this time rushing toward her, his voice stronger. She could feel the energy radiating from him, a mix of pride and affection that made her heart flutter. I was looking for you, she breathed, the words pouring out in a rush, fueled by her exhilaration and anxiety. I've never seen anything like that, he replied, breathless but with eyes that sparkled with admiration. You were amazing. Truly. His words washed over her like a warm wave, dissolving the tension that had clung to her. She felt visible again, each doubt peeling away. I still can't believe I did it, she confessed, laughter bubbling up, surprising her. Felt like a dream. It was real, Anna. You have to know that, he replied, stepping closer. She could see him searching her face, as if trying to read the thoughts swirling inside her head. I'm so proud of you. You've come so far. A part of Anna wanted to grab onto that moment, to memorize the way he looked at her, the intensity, the connection that felt so genuine. Thank you, she said. This is everything I wanted, Jack. But his expression shifted, and that spark of concern she'd seen earlier returned. What? But what if it all unravels? She wasn't sure where those words had come from. They felt so heavy. What if I'm just a flash in the pan? What if I don't belong in this world? Hey, he took her hands, grounding her with his touch. You belong. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You're already here. You've already shown everyone who you are. Their eyes locked, and in that gaze she found unexpected solace. I want to believe that, she said quietly, her voice shaky before he could respond. A voice called out from the side. It was one of the head designers, an older woman with striking silver hair, who had seen the show. Jack, there you are. I need your opinion on the next collection. Anna felt the moment slip again. She glanced back, watching Jack's expression shift from her to the designer, torn between obligation and desire. A knot twisted in her stomach as she took a step back, not wanting to be the reason he missed out on an opportunity. Go, she urged him, forcing a smile. I can wait. He hesitated, glancing between Anna and the designer, a struggle written over his face. I don't want to leave you, he admitted, a sincerity in his voice that made her heart swell. Just 1 minute, then I'll. Before she could finish, he leaned in, brushing his lips over her forehead, a gentle touch that sent warmth flooding her cheeks. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, all right? She nodded, heart racing as he stepped away. As she watched him disappear into the throng, a mix of pride and confusion filled her. This moment felt pivotal, but she couldn't shake the sense that they were still standing on opposite sides of an unbridgeable chasm. Anna inhaled deeply, trying to quell the swirling doubts. She was determined to embrace this opportunity but realized she needed to start discovering her own truths about her dreams, her worth, and where Jack fit into all of that. As she leaned against the cool wall, feeling the residual excitement of the runway, the sounds of celebration buzzed around her. She needed to decide what came next, both for herself and for Jack. But before she could gather her thoughts, a sudden figure approached, drawing her attention. It was someone she never expected to see, someone whose presence could change everything. Anna's breath hitched as she focused on the figure approaching her. The air felt different suddenly, charged with an energy that was both exciting and unsettling. A tall woman with raven black hair and sharp features emerged from the crowd. It was Mia, Anna's former mentor, the woman who had ignited the spark that led her into this world. Mia? Anna's voice barely broke through the buzzing noise around her. Anna, I can't believe it's you, Mia exclaimed, her tone a mix of surprise and joy. She rushed forward, pulling Anna into a tight embrace. I heard about the show. I knew you could do it. Anna's heart raced. Mia had always been a guiding light for her, a fierce advocate for her talent. It felt surreal to see her here, especially now, as Anna stood on her own in the very world Mia had once inhabited. It's so great to see you, Anna said, pulling back slightly to look into her mentor's eyes. Thank you for everything you taught me. Mia waved her hand dismissively, her eyes sparkling with pride. You did this yourself, Anna. You've grown so much. I knew you were destined for great things. But then Mia's expression shifted, and Anna caught a glimmer of something else. Concern? I didn't expect you to be in such a big show so soon. Are you okay? Yeah, I think so, Anna replied, hesitating. It's been overwhelming. Jackswell, he has been incredible through all of it, and I don't want to let anyone down. Mia narrowed her eyes as if pondering Anna's words. And what about you? What do you want? The question struck her like lightning. I want to be successful, to prove I belong. I want what? Mia pressed gently. What do you want more than that? Anna's heart thudded. She opened her mouth to respond, but the words tangled in her throat. The truth was more complex than ambition and recognition. With Jack in her mind, she could feel the weight of something deeper, lingering, a longing for acceptance of her own dreams, and maybe even for Jack to see her as more than just a rising star in fashion. Before she could articulate her feelings, Mia smiled knowingly. Follow your heart, Anna. The world out there may be loud, but your voice, your true desires are what matter most. Don't lose sight of that. Thanks, Mia. As she began to respond, they both caught sight of Jack returning, a determined look in his eye. Anna's heart quickened, torn between the familiar flutter of excitement and the mounting pressure that surrounded her. Anna, there you are, Jack called, spotting them. A rush of relief washed over his face as he approached. His presence anchored her, but as he stepped closer, Anna's chest tightened. Mia, this is Jack, she introduced, feeling the weight of expectation on her shoulders. Pleasure to meet you, Jack said, extending his hand as Jack and Mia exchanged pleasantries. Anna felt the chasm between their worlds widening. She wanted to blend her ambitions with her emotions, but the shadows of doubt loomed larger, threatening to engulf her. How could she balance the facade of success with the rawness of her true self? What if she opened up her heart and it all came crashing down? As the three of them stood there, the air thick with unspoken truths, Anna knew one thing. She had to confront the question she had been avoiding. If she truly wanted to embrace her dreams, she needed to take a leap, and that leap was coming soon. But before she could voice her thoughts, the atmosphere shifted once more as an unexpected guest approached, bringing a whirlwind of revelations that would leave her questioning everything she believed. The crowd seemed to part like water as the unexpected guest moved toward them. Anna squinted, trying to make out the figure whose aura filled the room with a mix of confidence and curiosity. As the stranger drew closer, her heart raced, feeling the weight of something monumental in the air. The woman was striking, with shoulder-length blonde hair and a determination in her gaze that rivaled Mia's. Her presence commanded attention, and Anna felt a twinge of apprehension. What could possibly take her off this emotional precipice she was standing on? "Excuse me," the woman said, stopping a few feet away. "I couldn't help but notice you, Anna." Hi," Anna replied, feeling out of her depth. Do you know me?" "Not yet," the woman said with a warm smile, but her eyes were serious. "I'm Lila, the CEO of Belvoir Designs." The name rang a bell in Anna's mind. The brand was known for its cutting-edge fashion and fierce innovation. Anna's mouth went dry. "Oh wow. What brings you here?" "I came to see your show," Lila replied, her tone sincere. "I got a tip about your unique style and I'm impressed. But it's more than just your work. It's your spirit. You remind me of, well, me when I was younger, chasing dreams and trying to figure it all out." Jack shifted closer to Anna, his eyes narrowing. She felt the heat of his protectiveness, but Lila's words washed over her like a cool breeze. There was something comforting in her presence. "Thank you," Anna managed to say, her heart warming at the compliment. "It's been a lot trying to prove myself." "You don't have to prove anything to anyone but yourself," Lila offered, her voice encouraging. "In this industry, it's easy to become someone you think others want to see. But authenticity is what will make you stand out. Don't lose that." Anna nodded, her mind racing. Each word felt like a thread being woven into a tapestry of possibilities. Still, a small voice in the back of her mind whispered doubts. What if she wasn't enough? What if her desire to remain true to herself cost her everything she had worked for? "I've been trying," Anna began, her voice trembling slightly. "But I sometimes feel like I'm caught between what I want and what I think people expect from me." Lila tilted her head slightly, her gaze penetrating. "Are you ready to free yourself from that pressure? To embrace what truly drives you? Because if you are, I'd love to support you." The weight of those words struck Anna hard, and for the first time, she felt a flicker of hope instead of fear. Could this be her chance to find her footing? To redefine success on her own terms? "Mia's right," she thought, looking over at her mentor, who nodded in affirmation. "Follow your heart." Jack's hand brushed against hers, grounding her even as a surge of excitement bubbled within her. Was this the nudge she needed to step into the light? Before she could respond, a commotion broke out near the entrance. Anna turned just as a tall man with piercing blue eyes strode into the room. Recognition crashed over her. He was a top designer, and had been the talk of every industry publication. Something shifted in her chest, an unsettling mix of thrill and dread as he locked eyes with her. Anna couldn't shake the feeling that this meeting was more than just chance. The room buzzed around them, but everything else faded into a dull roar. "Anna," he called, and a chill ran down her spine, awakening something deep within her. Was he the catalyst for her dreams or a distraction from her path? In that moment, as her heart raced, she realized that perhaps her leap was even greater than she anticipated, and she was not ready to look back. What would she say next? "Anna!" His voice boomed through the crowd, slicing through the lingering tension like a knife. Everyone seemed to hold their breath, drawn into the magnetic pull between them. What does he want? Anna thought, a storm of emotions swirling inside her. Jack's grip on her hand tightened, his brow furrowed, but that connection also provided a tether to reality. How could everything feel so monumental yet still so tangible? "Do you know him?" Lila asked, her gaze moving between Anna and the man, a flicker of curiosity crossing her face. "No, not really," Anna stammered, her voice barely more than a whisper. Yet, she couldn't shake how his presence filled the room. sparking recognition and insecurity all at once. Anna, come here. He called again, this time taking a step toward her. The crowd shifted, parting for him again. He was tall and elegant, with a wardrobe that screamed sophistication. What do I say? How do I even start? Anna wondered as he approached. She felt the eyes of the guests weighing heavily upon her, every heartbeat seeming to echo with doubt. Amazing show tonight, he said, flashing a smile that revealed perfect teeth. You've got something special, I can feel it. Her heart fluttered at the unexpected praise. Thank you, she replied, her voice steadier now, buoyed by Lila's earlier encouragement. I really appreciate that. What inspired your collection? He asked, leaning in just enough to make her heart race. She hesitated, the words caught in her throat. It's, personal, she finally said, weighing the risks of vulnerability against her need to be authentic. I wanted to express what? He prompted, his intense gaze making her feel bare. Anna glanced at Jack, who was still standing close, the lines of concern on his face softening. She couldn't help but smile at his silent support. I wanted to express what it feels like to chase a dream while navigating the chaos of life. The fear, the joy, the moments of doubt. It's a journey. So real, he said softly, an appreciative nod in his eyes. It strikes a chord. I think that authenticity is what's really going to set you apart. His words echoed Lila's. Thanks, Anna replied, buoyed by their validation. Here she was at a crossroads with two powerful people offering support. It felt surreal but also thrilling. Will you let me help you? The designer suddenly asked, his expression eager. I see a lot of potential in you. You could be a force in this industry. Stunned, Anna's heart raced. This was a dream, wasn't it? Help me? How? You could join my team. We're always looking for fresh voices. Unique perspectives. A rush of possibilities flooded her mind, colliding with the doubts that still lingered. But what about staying true to my vision? She managed to say, the words tumbling out before she had time to think. Exactly. He nodded, looking genuinely intrigued. Trust me, there's a place for authenticity in every design I've ever marveled at. Let us make sure you don't lose that spark. Anna's eyes flickered over to Lila and Jack, seeking them for guidance. Jack's expression was a mix of pride and wariness, while Lila seemed to smile knowingly. Do I have what it takes? Anna whispered to herself, the question heavy in the air. Before she could respond, an unexpected rush of voices erupted from the entrance. The doors flung open, revealing a group of critics and influencers. Their eyes lit up with anticipation. Anna, are you here? Shouted one of them, sending ripples of excitement through the crowd. The moment shifted as the reality of her scenario unfolded. Was this the start of everything she dreamed? Or just another distraction? Anna took a deep breath, ready to dive into the next step, knowing she could not turn back. But as the voices grew louder, she wondered, was she about to walk into her greatest opportunity, or a web of unseen challenges waiting to ensnare her? The crowd surged as more influential figures entered, their voices creating a vibrant buzz that surrounded Anna. Everything felt electric, and she struggled to keep her composure as she faced the unexpected attention. Between the newcomer's eager gaze and the sea of eyes trained on her, it was all becoming too much. Stay calm, she whispered to herself, but the flutter in her chest betrayed her. Jack shifted beside her, offering a comforting squeeze of her hand. His presence felt like an anchor, a reminder that she didn't have to navigate this storm alone. Anna, we loved your collection. One of the critics stepped forward, a bright smile on her face. I'd love to hear more about your inspiration. Can we chat? Anna's gaze flicked back to the man who had first called her name. He nodded encouragingly, as if giving her permission to step into the spotlight. The critic's excitement was infectious, bubbling over with curiosity. Yes, of course, Anna responded, her voice gaining strength as the critic pulled her into the conversation. She felt Lila and Jack fade into the background, as if they were mere props in her emerging narrative. And those colors, the critic gestured animatedly. They reflect so much emotion. Where did you get your palette from? As Anna spoke, her confidence began to swell. She detailed the story behind her choices, talking about personal connections, memories tied to fading summer sunsets, and the way these elements influenced her art. It felt liberating to share her passion, To let her words take flight and the snippets of her story, she caught glimpses of interest sparking in the critic's eyes. Each nod and smile from her listener sent her heart racing, fueling a growing sense of hope. But lurking in the back of her mind were questions. Doubts that festered like shadows. What if she wasn't good enough? What if all of this was just a fleeting moment of attention? Breathe, Anna, she told herself, forcing out those doubts and focusing on the connection she felt with the critic. This is real. As the conversation progressed, more guests began to join in, drawn by her infectious enthusiasm. Soon it felt like a small gathering focused solely on her and her work. The man who had first approached her remained close, his piercing gaze never straying far from her, a silent reminder of the opportunity he had offered. Yet, just as excitement reached its peak, a voice sliced through the thrumming air, sharp and critical. All this fuss over a new designer? A well-dressed older gentleman stepped forward, eyebrows raised as if scoffing at the spectacle. Let us not forget, it's not as easy as throwing some fabric together and expecting results. A wave of discomfort surged through her. The excitement in the room suddenly collided with his judgment. Anna felt her face flush and her mouth dry as all the eyes turned to her. Don't let him get to you, Jack whispered, breaking through the bubble of tension wrapping around her. His presence, steady and supportive, brushed against her, nudging her back on course. She took a deep breath, determination igniting her. I understand your skepticism, Anna responded, her voice even and firm. But art is about truth, and all of us in this room know that. It's about connecting with what we feel, and that can take many forms. The crowd murmured, surprised by her confidence. The well-dressed man's expression shifted, irritation flickering across his face but lacking the stinging bite of dismissal. As Anna continued to speak, she saw the tide of opinion shifting. That hot rush of fear slowly melted away, replaced by the warmth of shared understanding. Her fear was giving way to something else, something powerful. Yet, the path ahead remained clouded. The stakes felt higher than ever. That moment, Anna caught the designer's gaze once again, and the memory of his offer surged back. Would she have the courage to embrace the opportunity, regardless of the risks? Just then the crowd erupted into conversation again, the critic beaming back at her. I need to hear more. The excitement around Anna swelled. But beneath the surface, a storm of uncertainty brewed. The old gentleman prepared to retort, but before he could, a hand landed on Anna's shoulder, a firm but gentle grip that made her heart race. She turned, surprised to meet the eyes of someone unexpected. Anna, he said, voice low and filled with intensity, are you ready for what comes next? The question hung in the air, heavy with promise and consequence. Would she take the leap and embrace her dreams? The crowd waited, lips parted in anticipation. Anna felt the grip on her shoulder tighten slightly, spreading warmth through her. She turned fully to face the man, meeting his intense gaze. There was something magnetic about him, a sense of urgency that electrified the air between them. Her heart raced again, but this time it wasn't just nerves, it was possibility. Ready? She repeated, though her mind swirled with questions. What did he mean? Ready for what? The art world was pulsating and her heart echoed that rhythm. If she were truly ready, what would that mean for her? She had spent so long dreaming, sketching her hopes into small canvases, and now it felt like standing on the edge of something vast. Listen, the man leaned closer, his voice a comforting murmur in the chaos. Everyone here is captivated by you. This is your moment, Anna. Don't hide from it. His encouragement sparked something within her, and her earlier doubts began to dissolve. She took a deep breath, feeling renewed energy surging through her veins. What did she have to lose? Okay, she said, a small smile escaping her lips. I'm ready. As the words left her mouth, the crowd seemed to rise with her confidence. Anna turned back to the critic, elated. Art is for everyone, she repeated, deepening her conviction. It's how we process the world around us. There's no one right way to create. The critic's eyes shone with excitement. Exactly. Tell us more. The conversations flowed from her lips like water, weaving through details of her collection, and the emotions behind every stitch. For the first time, she felt the weight of doubt being replaced by an exhilarating buzz. Her stories painted vivid pictures in the minds of those around her. She glanced at Jack, who beamed with pride, his eyes sparkling as he nodded along, a steady source of support, The well-dressed man had retreated, but she could feel the lingering question of his skepticism hanging in the air. Yet it no longer felt like an obstacle. It was merely an observation, one she could either choose to acknowledge or reframe as a challenge. Challenging art and its value is essential, she said, her voice steady and clear. But I don't create just to please. I create because I have to. With each word, Anna saw nods of agreement ripple through the crowd. Support was emerging around her like a shield, and she thrived on it. Then, as the crowd around her buzzed with discussions about her work, she caught sight of the man, the one who had started this entire whirlwind. He stood a few feet away, arms crossed but with a bemused smile, clearly intrigued. "Thank you," Anna said to him, her heart racing again, "for pushing me to find my voice." He stepped forward, seeming to understand the weight of her gratitude. "It's a beautiful voice. Let us see where it takes you next." She held his gaze, feeling the implications of his words. What did he see in her? This was just the beginning, wasn't he it? A seed had been planted, and while she still had so much to prove, a part of her was ready to embrace the journey ahead. As she finished speaking, the crowd erupted into applause, the sound echoing around her. In that moment she felt everything she had hoped for: a sense of belonging, the thrill of recognition, and the freedom to express herself. But deep inside a whisper remained. What did this really mean for her future? What would the next step entail? Before she could ponder too long, the man who had gripped her shoulder moved back into her line of sight, a sparkle in his eye. "Let us talk about your next collection," he said, catching her off guard. "What direction do you want to take?" Her heart quickened again, anticipation dancing on the edge of her consciousness. This was a defining moment, one that could lead her into a future she'd only dreamed of. With a deep breath, she squared her shoulders, ready to dive into whatever awaited her next. Anna could feel her heartbeat echoing in her ears as she gazed into the man's eyes, his words hanging in the air, heavy with potential. "What direction do you want to take?" It was a loaded question. She could already see the creative paths unfurling in her mind, each direction offering countless possibilities. The colors danced vibrantly across her internal canvas, bold strokes of daring exploration, subtle notes of introspection, and deeper dives into themes that tugged at her heart. But what if she chose wrong? "I've always wanted to explore the interplay of light and shadow," she finally said, her voice more confident than she felt. "How our perceptions change based on what we choose to see or ignore, and how we find beauty in both." The man's smile widened, as if she had just unlocked a door he had always known was there. "That sounds breathtaking. Light and shadow can tell so many stories." He stepped back, giving her space, as if inviting her to expand her dreams. Anna felt a rush of gratitude mixed with anxiety. "Can I really do that?" she whispered, more to herself than to him. "Of course," he replied, stepping among the clusters of people who had been captivated by her earlier monologue. "Let the work speak for you. Create from the heart, Anna. If you do, I promise people will listen." She watched him move through the gallery, and a sense of determination washed over her. She needed to create, to dig deep into herself and pull out those intricacies that had been waiting for the right moment to shine. In that instant she decided she wouldn't just play it safe anymore. "Jack," Anna called out, her voice cutting through the chatter of the room. He turned, catching her eye from across the gallery with that warm smile that anchored her in the midst of uncertainty. "Yeah, what's up?" he asked, weaving his way through the crowd with an enthusiastic bounce. "I need your help," she admitted. "I want to create something new, a collection on light and shadow. Can you help me brainstorm?" "Absolutely." He beamed, radiating support. "I'm all in. What do you have in mind?" They stepped to a quieter corner, away from the thrums of excitement. Anna started to sketch ideas, the adrenaline running through her, giving life to a vision that felt so fresh, yet so true to her. She knew this was not just about the art itself, it was about transforming experiences wrapped in raw emotion. There were stories to be told, ones that hadn't yet seen the light. As she put pencil to paper, new narratives emerged, intimate recollections of hope and sorrow, and the subtle dance of joy and despair. "Yes," Jack said, nodding along as her ideas cascaded out. "This could be amazing. Your work has always hit people in the heart, and this is going to be something special." But as she built her excitement, an unexpected thought crept in. What if her journey to this point faded away? What if the man who had inspired her, the one who had sparked this fire, vanished like a fleeting shadow? She couldn't shake the thought. Do you think I can actually bring this to life? Anna asked, vulnerability spilling into her voice. Anna, you have something special, Jack said, his expression softening. You matter in this world, and your art can reach people. Trust me, you're not going anywhere and neither is this. Beneath Jack's encouragement, a sense of comfort nestled in her heart. Still, she couldn't shake the lingering question about the man, the spark, the possibility. Would he still be there to guide her as she ventured into this uncharted territory? As she continued to sketch, excitement mingled with uncertainty. Anna stared at her designs, imagining them hanging in the gallery, resonating with others. Yet, a part of her felt restless, aware that a new canvas was missing, one that held the potential of their stories intertwining. Something inside her whispered, "You need to find him." With that realization, she glanced around, searching for that familiar figure. But he was nowhere to be seen. The buzz of anticipation swiftly turned to determination. She couldn't chase shadows if she wanted to illustrate her own vision. With renewed resolve, Anna set her sights on the future. The next steps of her journey lay ahead, entwined with the mystery of a man who had ignited the flame. What would it take to uncover all she had yet to discover? And would a path reveal itself bridging these two worlds, the art within her, and the man who inspired it all? Anna stood backstage, heart fluttering in her chest, the applause still echoing like a thunderous wave. She had just completed the runway show of her dreams. Yet, standing amidst the chaos of excitement, a sense of uncertainty stirred within her. Jack's eyes met hers across the bustling room, filled with warmth and encouragement. He was her anchor in this whirlwind, a reminder of the journey they shared. But just as the thrill of success filled her heart, doubt crept in. Did her triumph come with strings attached? Would their worlds always feel so far apart? Anna! Lila's bright voice cut through her worries as she approached, the COS approval etched on her features. You were phenomenal out there. The recognition sparked a pride in Anna's heart. Thank you. Anna felt the color rise in her cheeks. Have you considered your next collection yet? Lila asked, her eyes alight with curiosity. Actually, yes, Anna burst out, emboldened by their earlier conversation. I want to explore light and shadow, how they interact and how we perceive beauty in both. Wow, Lila said, clearly impressed. That sounds incredibly nuanced and powerful. You've got the spirit for it. Just remember, authenticity resonates in every piece you create. As Lila walked away, a newfound determination settled inside Anna. It was time to push herself, not just as an artist but also to confront her feelings for Jack. She needed to know if their connection could survive outside the confines of the diner and the pressures of the fashion world. Jack! Anna yelled, leaving the buzz of the crowd behind her. He turned, concern clouding his face. She took a deep breath, her voice steadying with resolve. Can we talk? Of course. He rushed over, wiping the remnants of glitter from his suit jacket. You were incredible, Anna. His pride warmed her like sunlight breaking through clouds. I feel different now, she confessed, biting her lip. Like I'm standing at this precipice. The show was a victory, yes. But I need to figure things out about us, about my dreams. You're not just a waitress anymore, Anna. You're a designer. Jack's words washed over her like a warm embrace. But if something is bothering you, let us talk about it. I never wanted anyone to define me, Jack. I want to stand on my own. But I can't help but feel that our worlds still clash. I love what you've introduced me to, but I'm terrified of losing myself or you. Jack stepped closer, his face earnest. I admire your passion, and I want to support you. But I cannot ask you to change who you are for anyone. You deserve to be celebrated for your talent. It's why I fell for you in the first place. A tear slipped down Anna's cheek, a mix of joy and relief flooding her. I need to know you're here for the ride, for every step of it. I will be. I'm proud of you, of how far you've come. Jack held her hand, grounding her amidst the chaos. Let us build something together. I want that too. Her heart swelled, hope weaving its way through her fears. She stepped closer, ready to close the gap that had lingered between them for so long. In that moment, a powerful surge of emotion overwhelmed Anna. She leaned in, her voice a whisper. No more hiding from who I am. Jack's lips met hers, a gentle and electric connection that made everything around them fade. When they pulled apart, she saw the admiration and clarity in his eyes. "Let us do this together," he said softly. "It's time to embrace the light and shadow within us," Anna replied, her heart lighter than it had ever been. With their hands intertwined, they walked out into the bright lights of the ballroom. Anna felt the world opening up, filled with possibilities as cheers greeted her. Lila's words echoed in her mind. "Don't lose your spark." As she glanced around at future opportunities, she embraced the truth of who she was: a creator, a dreamer, a woman more significant than any title. The journey ahead held both the thrill of unknown challenges and the glory of shared triumphs. Anna smiled radiantly, knowing that this moment was just the beginning. She had found her voice, her calling, and, most importantly, someone to share it with: a partner in light and shadow. Now it's your turn. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Comment your reactions and feelings about this ending. This is the moment to show you care.